Thursday from the Omaha Baseball Village, where Hour 1 is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. And on this Father's Day, we would love to hear from you on our special edition Zone Hotline powered by the Sedoro Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. 402-951-1620. You can always send us a text. Maybe tell us favorite dad memories, maybe of your father or you as a father on this 2025 Father's Day. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster. We got Dad Josh Odson here as well. And then Peter back in the Zone studio. So today, Josh is our dad. He's the dad of the whole show because he's the only father amongst the group.
I was gonna say no. I have a father.
I do too. Yes, okay. He's radio dad today. Usually that's John Bishop, but today it's Josh Odson.
Radio daddy. I don't
put it on a shirt.
I don't hang out with John Bishop ever, so I
Not
feel
yet.
like Josh Odson has been my radio dad since January.
Radio daddy.
No, I'm
not gonna call him that.
Poll question: will Matt call Josh daddy? No, I will not call Josh daddy.
We'll find out if he does.
Funny enough, I wish my father a happy Father's Day during that intro because I go, I'm a bad son.
You forgot to do it?
Well, not forgot. I knew it was Father's Day. I was going to get to it.
You just hadn't done it yet.
I hadn't done it yet. There's a difference.
Yeah, I was going to do it in person for my dad because he's going to stop by at some point.
Yes.
But then the group chat was popping off with my sister-in-laws, my brothers. I was I should probably send him a happy Father's Day. Whoa.
Your sister-in-laws were wishing your dad.
Yeah, they're saying happy Father's Day, Tim.
But really early in the morning.
I mean, like 8:30. We're not talking about like 6 a.m.
Wait. They gotta wait.
We're in our 30s. We don't sleep in anymore.
But they gotta wait their turn.
You're saying
they gotta wait for you,
for one of us to do it. One of us.
They just can't. They gotta let you wish your dad a happy Father's Day before they swoop in at 8:30 in the morning and wish your dad a. Hey, we gotta have some etiquette here. Because if you came in at 6 o'clock in the morning and you wished their dad a happy Father's Day before anybody else,
so early,
that'd be weird.
Yeah,
they gotta wait.
Well, I didn't do it, and then they beat me to the punch. So I'll wish him a happy Father's Day, though. I got a card from my dad in my backpack, so I'll give him that.
Oh wow!
There may or may not be a reference to the Dallas Cowboys, because he passed that down to me. My dad's given me so many good things in life, you know. He taught me how to be a man. He passed down the gift of enjoying running, sports fandom in general. He's bought me subscriptions before to Sports Illustrated and various websites.
Yeah.
But he also gave me the Dallas Cowboys fandom. And for that, I don't know. I don't think I should thank him. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dad.
Well, my dad sucks if you really like.
Yeah, he gave you Bears fandom.
I got Bears fandom.
Yikes,
I got Northwestern Wildcat fandom.
Yikes.
I got Cubs fandom.
Hey, they won the World Series.
Yeah, but it was a long road.
Not for you, for him.
You know what? I hate it when people say that you didn't have to wait that long.
You
did
it.
I just suffer. Luis Valbuena was my third baseman.
Okay, real quick. So that happened 9 years ago.
Do you remember the Tony Campagna era?
You were 14.
I was.
That's not that long.
I was 14.
You know how long I've waited for a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl?
Oh, my God.
Been watching them since 96.
Now we've gotten into a measuring
29
contest.
years.
We now
Get out the ruler of fandom.
Lower extremity measuring contest about whose teams suck more.
Yeah.
Well, we're both Nebraska fans, so we both can.
Yeah. Well, at least I remember 97.
Well, yeah.
I remember 97. I remember 99. I remember the Rose Bowl.
I've never gotten to football national
You're like, man, they won 9 games one time.
No, they didn't.
Oh, yeah, I guess you were a Northwestern guy. They won 7 games last year.
But I'm talking about Nebraska. Nebraska's greatest season, in my eyes, for me, was last season.
That's tough. So are kids today saying my dad also gave me Nebraska fandom? That's horrible.
I'm going to start telling. If I had kids today, I would have to tell them stories of Nick Henrich and Luke Reimer.
Let me
tell you about 2 Nebraska boys who really knew how to lay the wood and had 7 combined wins in their junior and senior year. No offense to Nick and Luke. Great guys. I've met Nick before.
Yeah.
Had a class with him.
Oh,
awesome.
Shout out.
Yeah, we were in a psychology class together, and we were in like a group.
Yeah.
Talk about like a high class, high quality character, man.
Hey, at least
Nick Henrich also had a beer with him. Nice.
Not to brag.
Not to brag. No, I'm not bragging at all.
Underage beer with Nick Henrich?
No.
Okay.
We were there.
Okay.
We were good.
You were
Same thing with Garrett Nelson. We were there. We were just there.
We were there. Oh, when you say we were there, you meant 21.
21.
Okay,
we were there. We just got there.
Okay.
So great guys. Great humans. Didn't win a lot of football games.
No, well, you can't really say that about a lot of guys lately. They don't win a whole lot of football games.
I have grown up in the loser era of Nebraska football.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, you talk about a kid who is, let's see, when do you first remember sports? Like, what's the first?
2000, the Super Bowl, 2006 is my very first sport. Remember, actually.
So you're what, 5 or 6 years old?
Before that, Floyd Mayweather had a fight. I think it was against Chavez Jr., and this would have been in 2000. No, when he fought. No, sorry.
Got to be your bowl.
He fought Oscar De La Hoya.
Okay.
That was my first memory.
And so you're what, like 5 or 6?
I was like 3 or 4.
Okay, wow,
and
nice.
Then,
early sports memory.
And then the next one was the Bears Super Bowl in 2006.
Okay, and you were 5? 4 years old. So think
4
about
years
someone who, was 4 years old a decade ago, and so they're 14 now. And, they have had horrible memories. But they're probably Chiefs fans, so I don't feel that bad for them.
Okay. So a 13-year-old today would have been born in 2012.
Yeah.
So what the hell did they have to hang their hat on?
Again, Chiefs fandom. They're probably Chiefs fans.
Good point.
So they're living through the glory days.
I guess.
I hope they're appreciating. I hope that their fathers are saying on this Father's Day some advice for the dads. I hope they are looking their sons and daughters in the eyes and they're saying, cherish this because it won't be this way. Len Dawson was the only good quarterback, and he played 100 years ago.
I love, though, that there are men your age who are now experiencing the New England Patriots being terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And there are men that are 20 years older than them saying, guys, this is what it was.
This is what it was. So when I was in Boston, they before a race, I'll wear clothes that I'm not going to take with me to the course to stay warm, right? And so I usually wear old sweats and an old sweatshirt. And so for whatever reason, I grabbed this old Cowboys sweatshirt that was just too big. Yeah. I got it when I was heavier, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this. So I'm walking around in the Athletes Village area, and this guy makes fun of me for it. He says something, ha ha ha, Cowboys, and I go, hey, are you a Patriots fan? And he goes, yeah. I go, you guys are like in Dallas Cowboys 1999 era. You got a lot of years ahead. Yeah. And he laughed and he was like, you're probably right.
He knows. But
so at least he appreciates what's to come.
This is a take that I have. And I've thought of this before. I think New England Patriots fans need to take a break. Okay?
Yeah. They just need to log off.
They just need to go away. Yes. Just go and hide. Yeah. And just nobody
wants to hear from you anymore.
No. Because exactly.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares anymore.
Stop trying to tell me Drake May is going to be great.
Exactly.
He's going to be fine.
You did
this with Mac Jones 4 years ago.
You had one of the greatest runs in NFL history. You have 6 Super Bowls. Take a break.
6 Super Bowls.
Yes.
Between 01 and 18, they won 6. Yes. That's one every 3 years.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Take a break. Go and hide. Enjoy yourself. Don't even care about football anymore.
Yeah.
Just sit up and be like, I think New England Patriots fans should not freak out about anything and just be like, guys, all right, this is child's play. We got
what's fun for Patriots fans? Unlike you and me. So if you want to watch highlights from the 85 Bears, the team that existed well before you were born, it's going to be 4x3 grainy footage. If I'm going to watch Cowboys highlights from when they were winning the Super Bowls, 4x3 grainy footage. Patriots fans have got all these HD Super Bowls.
You get 4K in the last one.
Yeah, think about that.
They get a 4K Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's got to be nice.
I think it was one of the I remember tuning in the 2019 Super Bowl and being like, wow, the picture is a lot better.
4K, baby.
I know.
We pay for 4K on YouTube TV. I'm excited for this upcoming football season. I like 4K.
I am you.
What?
So
what?
I was very lucky with NFL Sunday Ticket because I was in college.
Yeah.
And so I got
you got it for $2.
I got it for $2.
Gosh, that's awesome.
And I tell my mom, I go, I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to be an adult now.
Uh-huh. Did they buy it for you?
She goes, no. She goes, your sister's in college now.
Oh.
You can use her college email and get it on discount because my sister couldn't give 2 craps about football. So I'm just going to be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to use your college email.
How many years of college does she have left?
She's got 4.
Oh, my God.
She's a freshman this year.
Wow. She got 4 years of Sunday ticket.
4 years for $120.
Total?
Yeah, well, no.
Matt's login
year by year.
Oh man. Oh, that's still pretty good.
I didn't start watching NFL Red Zone until I was in college.
What do you think about it?
I think it's the greatest convention ever.
We're gonna have 3 TVs this year, so I don't know how much we're gonna lean on Red Zone. We're probably gonna do quad box, and one big game.
I'll lay this down.
God, this
I'll lay this
happy.
down for you. So first off, I can't go home and watch football anymore.
Why?
Because my dad's a one TV.
Oh my gosh, what year is it? 84?
He's on Fox, and then he switches to CBS.
Oh my gosh,
so he does the
changing
whole
channels.
Oh my God.
Oh, you come back and miss a play.
I come back and I go, Dad, we got to set you up better.
Yeah.
He has an 80-inch TV.
Let's go.
So the quad boxes are
they're
huge quad boxes.
Yeah.
It's like he's got 4 TVs.
Yeah.
So I logged in my YouTube TV. I put the quad box on. I go back to Nebraska the next week, and all of a sudden my screen limit has hit.
And
I look back, because you can look back and see who's using TVs. He was using the quad box again. He goes, Matt, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, it changed my life. So I had to adjust to my dad having
the
my
quad
YouTube
box.
TV, because he deserves it. Now,
way to adapt. Yeah, happy Father's Day.
3 TV setup.
My gift to you, Dad, quad box.
Here's my 3 TV setup.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have 2 big TVs, and then I have my smaller TV
off to the side.
Okay. That I put like maybe 8 feet in front of me.
Okay.
Not too far. And then the other 2 TVs are far back.
Okay.
So I do quad box on one, quad box on the other. And then I go ahead and I do Red Zone on the small TV. And then you'll get to a point where there's maybe only like 4 games are competitive or 5 games are competitive. So I put one TV's got the most competitive game. Then I do a quad box. Then I have the 3rd TV right in front of me.
Nice. It's going to be great this year, because the TV that we have now in our basement is so big and it's so crystal clear, and we have a better surround sound. Like, I'm jonesing. I cannot wait to see what a football Saturday and Sunday is like.
I can't believe I lived my life with only one TV for so long.
It's wild. Once you go away from that and you do 2, like right now we only have one in the basement. And so when I wanted to watch 2 sports the other night, I had to pull out my phone.
Josh, that 3rd TV is
game changer.
Yeah,
it really
the
is.
Exponential curve of what's your ROI from TV to TV.
Nice.
It does not get higher from the 2nd TV to the 3rd TV.
It's very nice.
It is like, now you don't need a 4th TV.
No, I think that's pretty ridiculous.
I don't think it's ridiculous. You live your life the way you want to live your life.
Yeah.
But it is like, you don't need it.
Yeah, at that point, you just got so many remote.
Now,
what do you do?
The only time where you're happy you have that 4th TV on reserve is the NCAA tournament.
That's nice, yeah. Or those random Sundays when there are 4 late afternoon games, and it's like, wow, this is perfect. Now I don't have to decide which one I'm banishing.
Sure.
Though usually I just banish the Raiders game. The Raiders game is on in the late afternoon, and I say
the Raiders are going to be pretty good this year.
Right? I was listening to the Mina Kimes podcast from this week on the way in. She had Mike Golick Jr., and they were talking about the Raiders because they're both, I think, cautiously, as Nick Grimm would say, they're cautiously subscribing to the Raiders because of the change in head coach and the change in coordinator. I forgot that Chip Kelly went there.
So
it's a great reminder.
I'm not cautiously subscribing.
You're all the way.
I'm betting on the Raiders over-under this year, on the over. I love Geno Smith. Well, Geno Smith is a really good quarterback who doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's a really good head coach. But then you got to Max Crosby, superstar.
Yep.
Brock Bowers, superstar.
Yep.
They invested in that offensive line. Their secondary is going to be bad, which is why they won't be a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they have enough pieces.
So maybe we won't be banishing the Raiders this year.
No, I think the Raiders are going to be 8-9 or 9-8.
I won't banish them if they're fun to watch. I banish the team that's not fun to watch.
I don't think Geno Smith is really fun to watch.
Yeah, he gets the job done.
It's a lot of fun.
I am always intrigued by Pete Carroll team, so I'll probably check him out.
He is old.
Pete Carroll?
Yeah,
he's over 70. Nick Saban, and Mac Brown are all the same age.
We have a slight epidemic of coaches who might be a little bit I'm worried about Jim Harbaugh.
Hey, forget about coaches. Talk about just people in society. Olds are in charge all over the place.
It's a good point. No, I'm not.
They're holding on to their power, Matt.
Well, I'm not even talking about the hierarchy, systemic problems we have in the world. I just don't want Jim Harbaugh to drop dead.
Well, yeah, he just had another surgery or
on
whatever.
His hip, then he had, and now
every time he walks, I worry for him.
We're up to multiple heart flutters.
Yeah,
and he is in you could argue being an NFL head coach is up there in one of the more stressful jobs. In America.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank God he's out of college. I'm worried about Bill Belichick.
Yeah, well.
Wait till Bill Belichick has to worry about
We haven't talked about him today. Maybe we should talk about him at some point this week.
I would like to talk about Bill Belichick without talking about his girlfriend.
Okay, let's see. That could be an exercise that we do maybe tomorrow.
I would love.
Because today we're going to move past our college football summer school Big Ten schedule stuff. So maybe we do that tomorrow.
I would love to just have an actual Bill Belichick
football conversation
without anything to do with that woman.
All right, perfect. We'll do that tomorrow. Coming up on the show today, we will be on until 12:40, as we often are on the first show of the day. Not often. We literally always are on until 12:40. Ahead of an elimination game, the first of the Men's College World Series this year, Arkansas and Murray State. That one, first pitch, just after 1 o'clock. I always thought first pitch was 1:05, but listening last night, it was 1:10. Apparently, and then later at night it was 6:10. So first pitch coming up just after 1 o'clock. We will be off at 12:40, and then the nightcap tonight, UCLA and LSU. On the show today, this special edition of the Connor Happer Show, you know who it's going to feature? Connor Happer. Happer's going to join us close to noon, and we will talk about a variety of baseball things with him. We can get the story of the foul ball that he caught, the first ever zone person to get one of those foul balls.
I have a text message from my father.
Oh!
Can I read it to you?
Can I set up the rest of the show real fast?
Go ahead.
So we have Happer coming up, college football summer school. We're going to look at Wisconsin, UCLA, and Maryland. And we have a couple of other guests that will stop by, plus a Nebraska football discussion that we will do early on in the 11 o'clock hour. And if we have time, Sam McEwen ranked all 54
what a sicko.
Big Ten non-conference matchups this season. We're not going to say if he was right or wrong on all 54, but we're going to use it as an entry point to talk about the Big Ten non-conference schedule.
I don't know. I think
is stinky.
I think Houston Christian's a harder game than ODU.
Gosh. Dude, that game, that's the 11 a.m. game, right? The Houston Christian one. It's going to be a million degrees.
Can we just go to sleep?
You'll have to do Big Red Overreaction, so I don't think.
Are you assigning that to me?
Otson, I think, assigns them. Otson, Mat McMaster, Houston Christian, Big Red Overreaction. There we go.
I want to be exempt from the Iowa Big Red Overreaction.
Everybody wants to be exempt from the Iowa game.
But I have a Bears versus Eagles game after that.
Oh,
I have the Bears.
That's right.
Game of the year,
dude. Bear down, Chicago Bears that day. I'll be handshake memeing with you. Give me a Ditka sweater. I'll wear it.
We're gonna need that win.
Nice.
It'll be a big. We might be 8-2 or something.
Speaking of Bears fandom, your dad texted you.
He goes, listening to yesterday's show. Oh, LOL. The best year in your life was when you were 4. Classic. Listening to your Lambeau story now. This Josh Peterson guy is good.
Let's go. Wait, did he say good?
No. He said good.
Okay, thank God.
He's good. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know that bit.
Inside jokes. No. I don't know how many bits.
Shout out Matt's dad.
Whole question. How many Connor Happer bits does Matt's dad know?
I like that. What a great question. Maybe
1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that's all the stuff that we have coming up on the show today. Again, you can hit us up at 402-951-1620. Let us know a dad story, a dad memory, something that your dad passed down that you say, thank you, Dad, or something that your dad passed down to you and you say, dang it, Dad, why did you give me this cursed Dallas Cowboys fandom? By the way, I heard from my youngest brother, Luke. He texted in. I texted Dad privately before the sister-in-law.
Attaboy, Luke.
Tough look from me.
Attaboy.
I was waiting. I just wanted to wish him a happy Father's Day in person, because I'll see him a little bit later on. This hour is powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. And the 1620 The Zone hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. Josh Peterson and Mat McMaster with you on this Father's Day Sunday, day 3 at the Men's College World Series. We continue on when we return here on 1620 The Zone. We are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. And a reminder, as always, to come by the Zone booth at the bullpen inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win a 1620 The Zone prize pack of KC Royals porch tickets and ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's 13th and Mike Fahey. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster with you on this Father's Day Sunday as we get you ready for another double header today. Arkansas Murray State just after 1, UCLA versus LSU after 6 o'clock. Matt, we have been getting to know you over the last few days. We talked about Cowboys and Bears fandom yesterday. We asked for your take on turkey at Thanksgiving, and your answer basically was, I like it on the table for decoration, but I don't want to eat it.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
Yes.
What a great answer.
I mean, it's a dry meat.
Yeah.
But you need to have it.
Just so the pictures look good.
Exactly.
So you can post it on Instagram. Look at that turkey.
Exactly. You play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I have no problem being on both sides of the aisle. Turkey sucks, but you need to have it.
Nice. So today, as we continue to get to know you, I was with my wife last night, and I was telling her about this segment that we've been doing and trying to figure out another question to ask you.
Yes.
And so this is actually from her, and I thought it was a good one because of the Chicago flavor associated with it. What is your favorite John Hughes movie? People forget John Hughes. Do you not know who John Hughes is? Wow! Come on! He directed Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I don't
Alone.
like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What?
I've seen it once. It was a fine movie.
What?
Everybody freaked out about it.
Yes, they should.
What was it?
Home Alone.
Home Alone is very overrated.
Oh my gosh! 16 Candles.
No, it's
Uncle
not.
Buck.
I've never seen those two movies.
Holy crap!
This is
unreal.
Josh Hodson. Can you not tell Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster's pop cultural influences? It's sports, and only sports.
Well, we talked about this, but then you also was like, I went to see a movie recently.
Well, yeah, I like going to movies.
You like going to movies.
Okay, I love going to movies.
But you don't like movies on a television.
Yes.
So maybe that's why you didn't like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Because
Exactly.
you watched it on a TV.
Exactly.
If you would have seen it on the big screen.
Okay, Home Alone's a fine movie. Ferris Bueller, they're both good movies. I'm just not absolutely in love with them.
I thought this was going to be a good question.
Let me tell you a great, this because leads into Father's Day.
Okay.
My dad loves going to movies.
Yeah.
And so every Saturday,
they didn't pass that down to you, apparently.
No. We go to the movie theater like every Saturday at 11:30.
Oh, that's fine.
My dad isn't like, oh, I love art. He loves like big explosions and comedy movies. So we would go.
He likes Michael Bay.
Like I've seen all the Bad Boys movies.
Michael Bay,
and like I've seen The Hangover, and I saw Hot Tub Time Machine.
Wow,
but
not John
and
Hughes
all
flicks.
What was the one?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
No, it was
Weird Science. The Breakfast Club.
No, stop.
Well, I'm just naming John Hughes movies, man.
We went to Role Models. Role Models. That was another movie.
Great movie. I love Role Models. People don't talk about Role Models enough.
We've seen all the crappy comedies. And all the blow-up movies.
Don't you say that.
But we haven't really, like, the best Oscar movie I've ever seen was, like, The Green Book. But you didn't even win an Oscar.
Wow.
But it was a great movie, Green Book.
I never saw that one.
It's a really good one.
You never saw, like, Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, yes, obviously I saw Shawshank.
Did you like Shawshank?
It's a great movie. I was in a play. We did a play.
Shawshank play?
We were in a Shawshank Redemption play. Wow. I was Tommy, the young guy.
Man, we should maybe give you and Happer a movie
I don't
podcast.
think I am way better. I am way better than Happer. Like, I've seen more than 5 movies. I don't know,
man.
I could, like, if you wanted to have, we could do a whole, like, 4-hour show in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah?
Because I've seen all of those.
You've seen all those?
And a lot of the TV shows that were that.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
wow.
The whole director thing, like, what's your favorite Scorsese film? You would have
Goodfellas is the answer.
But you would have to read down the list of like all the Scorsese.
Well,
films.
you probably.
By the way,
like
I don't
want
to offend your wife or anything like that.
It's she's probably listening right now.
No.
She told me she was like, "I'm going to listen to the whole show today."
It's a very good question, and I want to give her credit for he likes
landing
movies
very well,
and he is from Chicago. It's just I'm an uncultured swine when it comes to it's like music too. Like I like songs. Don't tell me.
Just as a little treat, though.
Graphic. Yeah. I like songs.
I like songs, but don't.
I like music. I like songs.
I like songs, but don't ask me who sang them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I Got a Name. That's a great song.
I don't know what that is.
It was a Jim Croce song.
Okay.
But I
don't listen to music anymore. I listen to podcasts.
Great take.
Yeah. Man, I love that I found a Simmons guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kyle, turn on the TikTok camera.
Turn on the TikTok. He's given him the Maggie Simpson wheel. He's giving him the Maggie Simpson wheel. He's driving, but he's not driving.
Corey writes, what type of sick individual doesn't like Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
It's okay. Let me backtrack here. It's a fine movie.
Wow.
It's a fine movie. But what makes me say stuff like that, is everybody being like, "Oh, it's the greatest movie ever."
It's really good.
It's my mom's favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It's a fine movie.
I don't think it's the greatest movie ever, but I think it's a great movie.
I think there are a lot of other movies.
Have you seen Back to the Future?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
It's fine.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
It's good.
Odson, what are we dealing with?
It's a good movie.
A child.
Yes, I usually defend. Well, not really, not anymore.
I used to
defend the youth, and you are making me question the defense.
Here are my top 10 movies of all time.
You have it on a list?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me.
You have a list?
Yes.
You have a doc of top 10 movies?
Yes.
Just for what? For conversation?
I'm in radio, man. I keep lists of everything just in case.
I don't have a list for everything.
Okay.
All right.
Would you like to guess what my favorite? I feel like my favorite. You could probably guess what my favorite movie is. Sport Guy.
Chicago, the musical.
No.
Nice.
No.
Sport
Catherine
Guy.
Zeta-Jones.
I don't know, like a Field of Dreams type
Moneyball.
situation.
Moneyball is my favorite movie of all time.
A lot of people love Moneyball.
Then it's Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, okay.
Then it's The Martian.
Okay,
then
these
it's
are good.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I just watched The Martian.
Raiders of the Lost Ark 4.
Okay.
Ford vs. Ferrari 5. The Big Short 6.
I love The Big Short. You like The Big Short?
Love The Big Short.
It's a great movie.
Cars 7.
Oh, my gosh.
Oppenheimer 8.
Wow.
Revenge of the Sith 9.
Oh my.
Megamind 10.
I don't know what that is.
And then that's a cartoon movie. And then 11 is Little Women.
Wow, that list is eclectic.
You could have given me a million years. I would have never guessed half of those movies.
You know,
and ending with Little Women is quite the kicker.
Well, the best like combination here is going from Cars to Oppenheimer to Revenge of the Sith to Megamind.
Poor order to have Cars
not.
in front of Oppenheimer.
Cars is a better movie than Oppenheimer.
No, it is not. Cars is like the worst Pixar movie.
Cars is a better.
Wow.
Cars is Oppenheimer, but just better.
Wow. Is Cars Oppenheimer, but just better. Wow. Unreal.
But Little Women, not enough people give Little Women enough credit. And the best part about Little Women is that everybody thinks that Laurie should be with Joe. But actually, Laurie ended up with the perfect person that he needed to be with, because Laurie needed someone who would love and appreciate who he is. And Amy does exactly that. And Joe
spoiler alerting
is
this
someone
movie. I've never seen this
that
movie.
she can punch up to, which is why being with the teacher is so perfect for her, because she needs someone that she can chase.
Wow.
You also could have given me a million years of things we would talk about at the OBV shows.
Little Women.
The plot of Little Women would have never come up.
It was not on my prep.
It's an incredible woman. Incredible movie.
402 texter. This guy gives me more and more reasons not to like his commentary on the phone. Not know John Hughes, not know those iconic movies. That's an interesting sentence. I'm done.
What do you mean? First off, not know John Hughes. Like, I know the movies.
Yeah.
That he did.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Also, you're not on the phone. You're on the radio. We're not talking to you on the phone. Peter Krenzer, who's our producer today, back in the studio. Matt just listed his top 10 movies of all time, and Cars went 7-8 with Oppenheimer. React in the chat now. And the poll question has been posted. Is Cars better than Oppenheimer? Thank you very much. You can go vote right now at Happer Show. All right. I don't know how we're going to recover from that, but we're going to do our best.
5 mentions on Twitter.
This
might be.
Oh, they're going to be a tire fire.
Yeah.
I bet the YouTube chat's having a great time right now. This hour is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. And come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. We got some texts about dads that we can get to. We can also get to college football summer school when we return. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster, Josh Hodson, Peter Krenzer back in our studios here on 1620 The Zone. Country Fest is back at OBV this Friday. OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johns and Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. We are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster. Here we got Josh Odson producing Happy Father's Day to Josh. And we have Peter Krenzer back in our 1620 The Zone studio. Lots of responses, man.
I'm just lots of these. This combination of poll questions, is absolutely incredible.
We're having a great time.
I'll give an update. Will Mat McMedia call producer Josh Daddy today?
Yeah.
Currently, yes is leading. 65-35.
All right, we got 2 hours left.
How many Connor Happer show bits does Mat McMedia's dad know? Currently, 0 is leading with 40%, but
sad.
But 3+ is right behind.
So he's either a P1 or he's never heard the show one time.
Absolutely, no in between. And then is Cars better than Oppenheimer? We are deadlocked 50-50 right now with 21 votes.
Okay, John has created too many burners. He is voting in this over and over and over. Even though knowing things that John likes in movies, certain dress codes, let's just say that because we're a family show. Yes, he'd love Oppenheimer. He'd love Oppenheimer. Yeah. Pedro texts in. Hi, guys. My favorite dad story. I went to see my dad. What? I went to see my dad on his lunch break. He was having a sandwich at the bar, so I went to play pool and got hustled by 2 pool sharks. I would beat one, then the other one would win, and they went back and forth. They took all my money. I went back to the bar. My dad asked what happened. I told him I got hustled. He laughed and went to the pool table. Long story short, he won all my money back.
Oh, my God.
He told me they do that, and they took a person for his paycheck. He said he has to go back to work, so he left the bar. That memory stayed with me all these years. I was about 18 years old. I am close to 70 years old now. Thanks, Dad. Is Pedro that old? No way. Hasn't somebody met him? Who met him recently? He's not 70, is he? If he is, he's like the best-looking 70-year-old of all time.
This is terrible.
Shout out to Pedro.
Shout out Pedro's dad. But immediately I worried for Pedro's dad's safety that maybe they would go meet him in the parking lot to go and get their hustle money back.
Yeah.
What a G Pedro's
I've never been
is.
hustled. Have you ever been hustled before?
Or
are you hustler?
No. People have tried. It's known though where I grew up.
Yeah.
Like when you get to certain bars at certain times, you don't play pool.
See, I'm not good enough at pool to even consider like playing anybody for money.
There's this bar in Chicago in the Rogers Park area that had multiple pool tables that when we walked through the door, one of the guys who were like the bouncers knew that we were pretty young. He was like, "Hey boys, don't play pool tonight."
Yeah.
Because they were going to try and take your money. So no, I've never been hustled. Very well aware of how that goes down. Well, have you ever been hustled?
No, because again, I'm not good enough at golf or pool to bet.
Oh, sure.
So I'm not going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like, I'm not
confident
enough.
But here's the one thing about the hustle, right? So the hustle is they let you win first.
Yeah, but again, I'm not good enough.
And then they hit you back for more money. If I won first, I would just leave.
Just quit. Yeah.
I wouldn't play again.
Understand geometry, but I'm not good enough at the geometry of pool.
No, it's great.
Like I know how to. Like I can imagine. I'm just not good enough.
Now here, I'm saying this all the time. But I'm also the guy who frequents casinos very often.
Oh, yeah.
And some could make an argument that in itself is kind of
a hustle.
Kind of a hustle. But I love it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Let's do this. Let's take a break now so we can have an extended college football summer school conversation because it's time today to look at the final 6 teams in the Big Ten that we have to get to. So we'll do that when we return. Hour 1 is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT, member FDIC. And 1620 The Zone is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska fresh and always evolving. We'll wrap up hour number 1 when we return. Josh Peterson and Mat McMaster here on 1620 The Zone. We are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska, and the special edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedoro Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. We go there for just a tiny second, Matt, because apparently that story that we read from Pedro, it's from an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, okay.
We got duped. Dang it, Pedro. Dang it, Pedro.
I mean, you think I watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah, you definitely not. If you're not watching,
watch Full House though.
You watched Full House.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right, we're gonna try to stay focused so we don't go down a rabbit hole of talking about Full House.
Sorry.
Josh Peterson and Mat McMaster, as we finish up hour number one.
Josh now gets the bit.
We have a very fun 11 o'clock hour ahead, including Connor Happer, who will join us, and we'll talk about what he has seen so far here at the 2025 edition of the Men's College World Series.
Connor Happer's going to look at his Twitter, going to be like, what the hell happened?
Is going on? Yeah, I hope that him and Josh do like a nice recap of all of the poll questions once the series is done or once they're doing a show together.
Half of them will be Matt revealed.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Today, we will finish up our look at Big Ten teams in college football summer school. We're going to do 3 teams now, 3 teams later. It's funny. Yesterday, Matt, when we talked about this, we were like, we got the dregs tomorrow. I don't think that we are totally in dreg territory just yet. We will be later.
I couldn't disagree more.
Really?
I think we're in dreg territory.
So we start today. We're going to do on this show, in this segment, Wisconsin, UCLA, and Maryland. We begin with Wisconsin, a team, we are not anymore now talking about playoff contenders, dark horse playoff contenders.
No.
We have arrived at how will Coach save his job?
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about with Luke Fickell in year 3. Look, we've all done this is like the Bill Callahan era at Nebraska, but it really is like the Bill Callahan era at Nebraska. Notable games for Wisconsin this year. Let's take a gander. At Bama, week 3. At Michigan, first Saturday in October. They have Ohio State at home. They have Oregon on the road the very next week. They have Indiana on the road. They have Iowa at home. They're at Minnesota, Illinois. I mean, dude, their schedule sucks.
Every time I look at the schedule, I just remind myself how brutal.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, but hey, at least they'll be able to move on from Luke Fickell. So along those lines, that's what I was focused on.
Sure.
How does he save his job? And like a lot of the teams we talked about yesterday, man, I'm going to the middle of the sketch, and I'm talking about Iowa. It's a rivalry game. Are we in agreement?
We're in total agreement.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense, right? Like, I'm not expecting them to beat any of the really good teams that I just mentioned. So it's like, how does one save his job? Being maybe at 500 with a rivalry win or 2. You could, honestly, both of us could bring up the Minnesota game late in the year, but I was at home, and so that's why I decided to go with the Hawkeyes.
I think it's one of those, like, how do you avoid – because I think 5-7 or 6-6, you just look at the schedule, and if they're competitive against those teams, you're like, all right, I think Luke Fickell is doing a fine job, like just bad draw, give him one more year. He tried to be – there was some – and I'm not saying Luke Fickell is Scott Frost, but there were some slight Scott Frost vibes with the whole we're going to change things up and have a different offense, and we're going to bring in Phil Longo, and then it just didn't really work out.
I was excited for that because their running game, I didn't hated they're just air raid. Like, he ran the ball well.
Oh, no, they did. Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
It's been obviously bad. It
wasn't a full air raid, but it definitely was them trying to be creative. They've now gone back to more of their roots. But so, like you said, save your job. If they go 4-8, then you're like, damn, like, what are they doing? And you do that by losing to Iowa. I nearly picked the Washington game.
Oh, that's good.
For the same reason, because
of where it falls.
It's just kind of toss up.
And it's like a game like you got to win it.
You got to win
It's a home game, a West Coast team coming east.
I'm going to pick Iowa just because you still have that Big Ten rivalry root, right? But those 2 games, Iowa-Washington, definitely going to be crucial if Luke Fickell is going to keep his job, because those are 2 home games against winnable teams that they're going to be pushed, but you should win.
Yep, I like that pick. So I think we're both in lockstep agreement. It's probably gonna be his last year, right? Are we in agreement?
No,
you don't think so.
I think they go. I think they go 5-7,
and they give him one more year.
They give him one more year, and then he'll go like. We'll have to see. I haven't looked into what their schedule is in the next year.
If you're a Nebraska fan, by the way, I think that's what you want. You would love him to get a year 4, but off of a 5-7 season where it's just total lame duck.
And it's also pure desperation.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go in the portal and they're going to grab everybody and they're going to make very rash decisions because we want to save our jobs. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It'll be interesting.
Yes, it will. Let's get to UCLA. They host Nebraska this season. Other notable games on their schedule. They, of course, finished with USC on the road in the last week of the season.
Yep.
They play Ohio State on the road also in November. They're at Indiana this year. They host Penn State. They have an interesting non-conference game, Matt.
Two of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Utah. That's right. That is a non-conference game now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Utah, week 1, the first Saturday of the season. That'll be a late game, by the way. That'll be, a 10 o'clock game Central? Holy crap. And then at UNLV, it was the other intriguing one that I was talking about. Who you got for the most important game for UCLA?
Okay, so first off, I think UCLA has a very sneaky, tough schedule.
Yes.
It's not as bad as Wisconsin.
No.
It definitely ain't. I mean, they play Indiana, Penn State, and Ohio State, and
two of those are on the road.
And I think Washington is going to be a good team this year. So,
yep.
End of the year USC rivalry game. I think this will be a game of if you win, you go to a bowl, and I think that would be a marker of success for Deshaun Foster. UCLA has been putting together some pretty good high school recruiting classes. I like Deshaun Foster. I know you could say what you want about Nico Miliava. Pretty damn good quarterback, though. Like that pickup.
Seems like an upgrade.
They also got one of those Cal running backs, Javen Thomas, who is pretty damn good as well. So I think this team will be pretty good, but they play really good teams, so I don't think their record will show it.
Yeah.
But if they beat USC at the end of the year, go 6-6, head into a bowl game, win the rivalry game, how can you not say, all right, maybe the Bruins are doing something with Deshaun Foster over in L.A.?
Man, I like your pick more than mine because I went with Maryland. And again, I guess I just keep going back to the middle of the season kind of like helps control the narrative for the rest of the year.
That's a good point.
Which is why I went with Maryland and that it's a home game. That is also the kind of the spot in 24 when UCLA started improving as a football team.
Yes.
You know, remember, it's pretty much right around the Nebraska game that they started playing better. They just got a lot of really good teams on the schedule. So I was trying to find those winnable games that they could have, the games that could, maybe turn the tide. I do like your pick, though, of the USC game just because it is a rivalry. And if it's playing for bowl eligibility, that would be very important for a Foster if it's not so much if he's going to make it to year 3, but more the good vibes are going to go.
And I'll say this. We had Michael Severe talk about those. What's the hardest or the most important stretch of games, right? Michigan State, then at home for Maryland, then at Indiana, then home for Nebraska is a very interesting 4-game stretch for UCLA because I could see them going 3-1 in that stretch.
That would be a nice stretch for them.
That would be real. And you mentioned it; they played great at the end of the year. What if they just, they do it again? They're a second half season type team in LA for Deshaun Foster. So I think UCLA, people just got to look at them and go, they're a basketball school. It'll be an interesting year for them.
And finally, as we finish up hour number 1 here at the Omaha Baseball Village, the Maryland Terrapins. Notable games that they have. Gosh, everyone seems to play Washington that we're talking about today, Matt, but they're traveling to Wisconsin. They're traveling to UCLA.
Yeah.
They host Nebraska in Indiana and Michigan. They're also at Illinois and at Michigan State. For the Terps, I went, because I don't think they're going to be very good, I went with at Rutgers.
Okay.
Because again, now we're not talking about playoff stuff anymore, so we're not talking about winning over good teams. It's more teams kind of in your weight class. I'm just kind of curious, as Loxley enters year 7, where is Maryland football going moving forward?
So this is by far the most startling preview that I read. I want to read you a couple quotes from it. First off, in the defense, right, the defense section of the Athlon Sports preview, the Terrapins were last in the Big Ten with 14 sacks. Whew. And all the starters up front are gone.
Yikes. Well, or maybe good.
However you slice it, they kind of not good because they don't go. They brought in all these different guys or whatever. They did it. Okay. They didn't. We're like, oh my God, they upgraded. It was just like, they're just gone. Mm-hmm. Okay. Secondly, this is from the opposing Big Ten assistant coach. It's nearly impossible to tell what they are going to look like, but it sure seems like it's getting harder and harder for these guys.
Yikes.
And then also, too, they don't know who their starting quarterback is, and they have 3 offensive starters coming back next season. This team is going to be bad.
Yeah.
My most important game for them is at Wisconsin.
Okay.
Because
That'd be a nice pelt to get on the wall.
They'll be beat up.
Yeah.
Wisconsin will be coming up. Will be coming off of a game at Alabama. So maybe Wisconsin's beat up. They can travel to Camp Randall. They can pick up a nice win to begin the year, give themselves momentum heading into the Big Ten slate. So that's what I have for them.
Hour one has been presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT, member FDIC. Come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win ice cream for a year from Ted Wally's. Ted Wally's, official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson in the Old Market, Omaha. Hour two coming up next here on 1620 The Zone. Hour two here at the Omaha Baseball Village is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers. And right now we have a special in-person edition of the Zone Hotline powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. We are so happy to welcome Josh Peterson and Mat McMaster here. Jordan Stevens from Macy's Way, which is I'm so excited to talk about this. Yeah. This is so special, so cool. Jordan, how are you today, first of all?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us about Macy's Way and some of the backstory and what you're doing with this.
Yeah, Macy's Way, we started, our oldest daughter, Mace, passed away in July of 2019. She had some heart issues throughout her life and had a heart transplant and did well. She passed away shortly before her 21st birthday. As a family, us grieving and trying to figure out a way to carry out her name, her tradition, something to help us heal as a family. We decided to create Macy's Way. And Macy's Way's mission was, we thought she loved when dogs came and visited her at the hospital anytime there was a dog or a therapy dog around. She absolutely loved it. And so we thought, let's try to find a track on the way to place some puppies with some families who've gone through ordeals like us, where either they've lost someone or they're going through a mental, medical, physical thing, and place a puppy with that family, bring a little light to their family, maybe a little joy in the long run. Maybe that dog will, just help them brighten their day. As we know, they all make us smile when we see them. So.
Oh, yeah.
I visited your website earlier today, macysway.co, and it's an incredible story. And I encourage anybody to go and just read just kind of the journey that you went through and this incredible thing that you guys have done. Do you remember kind of the aha moment when you were like, you know what, this is something we want to do and this is something that we're going to follow through on?
Yeah, I think when she, shortly before she passed away, she had decided she kind of wanted to get into grooming. She had working in a grooming shop. She loved being around dogs. She had visited with her mom and myself, and her dream was to open a grooming shop someday. But she always thought, let's do this grooming shop where it's, she wanted to call it Pups and Cups, where you can come and have a coffee. You could look through the windows and watch them grooming if you want. You could sit around. You'd have a little patio outside, and it would be an experience for someone to have both. And I think at some point in time, we have a dog named Lulu. That's a golden doodle that she loved. And Lulu always just reminded us of being a therapy dog. We're always like, this dog could go visit hospitals right now and do that. And I think that culminated, it just sort of came together from that. We're like, hey, we know how much these puppies have helped us through all this. It could certainly help some other people. And I think it just kind of went from there.
Jordan Stevens joining us from Macy's Way. And as Matt just mentioned, you can go to the website today, macysway.co. And so we were talking a little bit before we went on air, Jordan, and that is what you are looking for to make sure that this thing can continue to still happen moving forward, because people need, I have a tattoo of my dog on me. Dogs are obviously very important to so many of us. And so what are you looking for from folks?
We're a nonprofit, and we're 100%. There's no administrative fees. Everybody's volunteering their time to be part of this. And we've placed 27 puppies in the last 3.5, 4 years. And we have 2 puppies that we're placing right now. So if anybody's out there that knows of someone going through something, they can recommend the family, or if someone themselves going through something, that a puppy may be something that could help them. Please go to our website. There's a puppy placement program application on there. You can fill that out. So we're obviously first and foremost trying to help as many families as we can in the process. To do that, we're trying to place. We tend to do a lot of golden doodles because they're hypoallergenic. We figure that those dogs, when they go visit those places, there are people allergic. So sometimes cutting down with some extra stuff, that's just kind of been our thing. And so we've been gracious enough to have some different breeders donate puppies to us, and then we've had a litter of puppies, and it's just kind of gone that way. And so we're always looking for donations as far as just funding those families. So eventually, as these dogs age up, we would pay for therapy training. If they thought, hey, my dog wants to be a therapy, I want to take him to the hospital, I want to do some other things, that's training we would pay for that family. And we obviously hope there's Macy Ways dogs all over the country at some point in time out there in different places, and that would make us all smile.
You kind of touched on it. I was going to ask you what your long-term goals are, but what do you think before you get to those big goals? What are the other little baby steps that you guys are looking to take to eventually reach those, big aspirations?
Yeah. And I think it is, because as the dogs age, not every dog's a therapy dog. So, maybe of those 27, maybe 5, 8, maybe we'll get lucky, maybe, and things like that. And that takes time as they age to find out if they're not going to not. Some people just don't want to take the time to do it, and that's fine with us too. And so I think right now, in parallel to that, we've sort of come to the point where we really want to try to do this grassroots campaign where we can go out into the community and find some large pieces of ground where we can make these dog dedicated locations and a large dog park. And our belief is that we can do this, and we envision calling it the Barkwoods, and it just being this big 30-acre dog park that has maybe a pond, but it has trails. It has maybe building at the end where people can gather. You can listen to music and hang out with your dogs. maybe there'd be a small campground where, hey, you wake up in the morning and go for your dog, and you got 30 acres to wander around and explore together and just be outside and enjoy all that. So I think that's something we're starting to sort of move towards, but together and run side by side on them. So, and I think that's really the push we'll be aiming at, that we feel like we put some dogs out there, continue to do that, but now let's do something physically that I think as many and as much people love dogs, I think it's something we can certainly do, and it's long overdue.
That's incredible.
Closing in on 30 dogs, right? Placed?
Yes.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yes.
For more information, you can go to the website today. It's Macy's Way, MACYSWAY.co, and find out more information. You can donate there as well. Jordan Stevens joining us here from Macy's Way. Jordan, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. And we're going to be in Baseball Village till 6 o'clock tonight. Okay. So if you guys are down CWS, come find us because we got beads to throw. We got all kinds of stuff.
Awesome.
Giveaways and gift cards. So come find us. We're right by the main stage by the beer garden in Omaha Baseball Village.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Yes. A reminder that the 1620 of the Zone Hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. And Country Fest back at the OBV. This Friday, OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johnson, Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. Connor Happer's going to join us later on in this hour. We'll talk some Husker football when we return. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster here at the OBV. So much more to come on 1620 The Zone. Hour 2 here at the Omaha Baseball Village, presented by Nebraska Medicine, Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers. Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer. And 1620 The Zone is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska Fresh and always evolving. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster here, Josh Hudson on site, and Peter Krenzer back in our 1620 The Zone studio. We're going to have Connor Happer joining us in a little bit.
Nice.
Some other stuff along the way. But let's talk a little Husker football. I don't think we've talked a lot of Nebraska football so far. It's been a lot of college football and a lot of Big Ten football.
We've done a good job of diversifying ourselves and educating the masses on what to expect in a very top-heavy Big Ten conference.
Yes. And later on, we will look at the bottom 3 teams in the league, and that will be a lot of fun. We get Northwestern, get Purdue, and Rutgers,
that might be a 3-minute
just
segment.
in and out.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk a little Northwestern football.
Yes. We'll do 10 minutes on Northwestern and 30 seconds each on the other 2 schools.
Yes, that sounds like a great idea.
Wow. So I asked you this yesterday, and you had an immediate answer, which was great because I was teasing the show today, and that is this. Why does Nebraska football get the benefit of the doubt nationally? I was listening to Schick and Nick early yesterday, and they were talking. Bob brought it up that, once again, Nebraska's showing up in some of those way too early top 25 type lists, right? And he was like, it's interesting how locally people are a lot more pessimistic on Nebraska than they are nationally. And they kind of figured out the reason why, at least from the pessimistic standpoint. We're here all the time. We watch them all the time. We know about all the terrible losses, yada, yada, yada. But the more interesting conversation for me is the national direction.
Sure.
Why do they get the benefit of the doubt nationally? Now, you said you had an immediate quick answer.
Yeah.
I do as well, and I wonder if we're going to have an agreement on what it is.
I have 2 reasons. The first is obvious to me, and that's everybody likes Matt Rule. Matt Rule goes on the Josh Pate show. Matt Rule goes on Pat McAfee show. Matt Rule talks to Joel Klatt.
He was on Rob.
He goes on Jim.
He goes on national shows.
He goes on national shows, and he treats everybody with respect.
Yep.
He answers their questions, and not just answers their questions, but opens up more topics to talk about and isn't afraid to say the things that people want to say. And they meet the guy and they like the guy and they're like, thank you for coming on and having an hour convo. And then they kind of look at the outskirts of Nebraska football. They're like, oh, they're going to be pretty good. And I want Matt Rule to win because Matt Rule came on my show and is a really, really good dude. And so that's why they get the benefit of the doubt.
If he wins, then I get him on my show and we have this relationship that kind of feeds the beast over and over and over.
And also, too, Pat McAfee said it himself when Rule came on for the first time. He goes, I thought we were going to have a 10-minute convo. It turned into an hour, and it was fun. It was great, and they filled time.
Matt Rule, podcaster.
He's really good at talking to people.
He could go on with Simmons,
and he is. And I've, the personal combos that I've had with him, he is a personal guy.
Yeah.
He is kind of a grab a beer dude. He likes food. He likes to hang out. He likes to talk about things. He's an easy dude to get along with, and when you meet a guy like that, you want him to win.
For sure.
And people want him to win.
So you said you had 2 reasons?
The second is we love nostalgia.
Yes. See, so that was going to be my reason, is that they fit into the blank is back group, which, that group, I think Stephen Godfrey put this most succinctly one time that I have kind of piggybacked off of his opinion for years, and that is the teams that were good when you were young are the teams that you always think should be good. And so for me, as a late 90s, early 2000s teenager and younger, I always am like, why isn't USC good?
Yes.
Why isn't Miami good?
Yeah.
Oklahoma should be a national championship contender forever. And, I was on the very edge of it. Why isn't Nebraska good? But a lot of other people who cover media are older than me, and so they fit into that category. And so I think, look, it's good for business if Nebraska is good.
They are the classic. College football is good if Nebraska's good.
Correct.
And people want to talk about that. And also, too, everybody loves – not everybody, but a lot of people love their childhood. Right?
Yes.
And the things that they grew up with.
It's the most fun time to be a sports fan because it's at the most purest. You're not having to read articles about the settlement when you're 10.
No, you do not care about the scandals or the inner workings of the athletic department.
Ball.
You are blind to the inner workings and the dirty part of how the sausage is made in college sports or just sports in general. And so anything to bring us back to that euphoria, anything to bring us back to that moment.
100%.
When we first saw Tommy Frazier run the ball, or when we
classic.
first saw, Baron Miles pick off a pass.
Wow, you think
right?
national heads are talking about Baron Miles?
No, but I'm just talking from a nostalgia perspective.
Okay.
Of
That'd be great if Stuart Mandel was like, man, remember Baron Miles?
No. But it just brings us back to that moment, right?
Yeah.
And so we just want that moment again. It's the same thing. Josh knows this better than anybody. Josh Otson, pro wrestling, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin could do the most heinous thing. Same thing with The Rock or Hulk Hogan. But when they come back,
and he actually did heinous
brother, things, and they come back,
why can't I say that?
Oh
word,
my
brother?
God, we love them because you're reminded about all the great things and all the great memories they provided you when you were younger. That's Nebraska football.
What do you think about this from friend of 1620 The Zone, Michael Severe? Okay. It's simple. They are due. And people want to be ahead of when they actually have the breakout season. Look, if you keep calling it, people aren't going to be like, yeah, but you said the same thing in 2018 and you were wrong. But if you say it before 2025 and then you're right, Husker fans will say, wow, look at Bruce Feldman. Feldman called it. He stuck with us. He won. Yeah. He nailed it. It is fun to be right about things. I love, Matt, we've been getting to know you.
Yeah, I know.
Get to know me. I love being correct. Did you know that I picked the Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl to go to overtime?
Wow.
On the Friday before the show?
Hell yeah.
And I did. Shout out to me.
We haven't talked about the Stanley Cup final, but I'm waiting to pat myself on the back because I told everybody Edmonton was going to win game 1, and then they'll whoa!
Oh, my gosh!
What is going on? Whoa.
Sean Bishop at the Omaha.
No, you can't have that. The only people who pick that up are little kids.
The literal whole crew is here.
That was the worst 8 minutes of radio I ever heard in my life. Let's break down the special teams. Oh, if we don't play well against Illinois, we're going to lose. Great commentary.
What do you do in your afternoon show? You do the same combo. You have the same conversation.
No, we don't.
Sorry.
I don't let it.
Go ahead and talk about Memorial Stadium again. It'll be great. We can talk about the construction and the grandfather.
At least that's new stuff. At least that's new stuff.
Wow.
Guys, how you doing?
John.
Man. Hey, you've been great on the call. I know that we like to make fun of.
What about Gary?
Gary's been
He's your partner.
Gary's been okay. He's, it is what it is.
You should praise him first.
It's the voice of the college. It's the voice of baseball. The voices of baseball.
We are on the air.
Wow. Wait, what subject did we just interrupt?
We were talking Husker football, actually.
Of course we were.
Well, can I be honest with you? We went a full hour before we got to Husker football.
We barely talked Nebraska this whole
later
weekend.
Today. That's at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Dylan Raiola was looking for interviews yesterday. Has he come by yet?
No. Oh, can we get him?
Is he sweating in his turtleneck?
Was he wearing a turtleneck?
I'm just such a bad joke.
Did you get Livy Dunn on? You going to try to talk to her?
She was sitting right next to me the whole time. Wow. She was. And you shy.
And you didn't
We
say
had the
anything?
wrong guy on the job. That's Gary's.
Come on,
Gary's
Gary.
assignment.
You need to help us out. What have you thought of the series so far now? 4 games in.
It's been good.
What we have seen?
It's been good.
Yeah?
It's been played well. I mean, home runs are down. We're not, the ball's not flying out of the park, but, it's kind of reminiscent of a few years ago. But it's been good so far. I really can't complain. Every game's been pretty decent.
Your guys' reaction when Root was taken out of the game, through an inning and 2/3.
Well, we were stunned. We couldn't believe it.
It was absolutely incredible.
We couldn't believe it because he had just been cruising along, and then all of a sudden he just lost his compass and never got it back.
Do you think they have a shot to run the table in the losers bracket? And
if there is a team that's built and that could be built to come back through the losers bracket, it's Arkansas. But then you got to wonder what's going to be the mental side of it because they've never done it before. The pressure of being the first, all of that.
Who would you call the favorite to win it all right now?
LSU. I mean,
did you feel that way about last night that the winner of that game was going to be your favorite this morning?
I think a lot of people did, and maybe some of that's a little SEC bias. Oregon State. I mean, certainly tonight, the winner of tonight's game is going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, good point.
And Coastal Carolina can pitch it as well. And if this is going to be a World Series like we had back in the early days in this ballpark, where it's a lot more defense and pitching, then I think we're gonna. I think Coastal Carolina could give it a good run, but we'll see. We'll see after tonight.
I know that we're now 2 days removed from it, but I am still thinking back on what happened with Oregon State and Louisville and just the collection of what. Was it about 45 minutes, a half hour of real time? How much real time was it when things just started going crazy?
Yeah, it was about 20, 25 minutes because it was, it was just up and down. You had the caught stealing. You thought, okay, now it's over.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Arquette throws that crazy wild throw, and then the catcher can't find it.
Dude,
and
that was one of the funnier moments
I've
ever
ever
seen.
It was. And but credit to Oregon State, they came right back, and the two guys that kind of made mistakes in that inning got the hits.
Yeah,
won the game.
I was watching at an establishment, and when Arquette dropped the ball behind his back, I immediately thought, what the hell is John Bishop saying right now? Probably going crazy when that happened, because it was such a wild play.
It was wild, but it's baseball, and even with the best, the nerves can get there. What are we doing? Spreading out granola bars today?
Granola bars.
I know.
A great fine sponsor, John.
Now, do we have any of their chocolate chip?
I
want it to melt.
I don't know. I've been snacking on
the
these
chocolate
all
chip's
day.
the best, man.
It's warm. John, it's Father's Day, and you are the dad of 1620 The Zone. How does that feel?
Yeah.
Daddy John.
What did you all get me for my Father's Day present?
Nothing.
You don't have to talk to me for a week.
I got you.
This is a great gift.
I'm talking to you now.
Wow. I got to get a second gift.
I got for Father's Day. We got you 6 Husker football segments heading into your College
that's
World
wonderful.
Series game.
What are we breaking down today?
Well, we actually
are
are
breaking down the special teams for Houston Christian.
We actually are talking about Northwestern football today. I'm very excited about
what?
it.
We've been talking
They
about.
don't talk Northwestern football at Northwestern.
Yeah,
Well,
no, they don't give a
Did
damn.
you know
It
he grew
happens
up a Northwestern fan? This poor sad
Nobody
sack.
grows up on Northwest. That means we have Farron and him.
Oh,
to-
Farron
Mike
on
Farron
the
is a
call
Northwestern
tonight.
fan.
Well, he's a Chicago guy.
Are you
Yeah.
off the game tonight then? No, I'm on. You're on? Gary's off the game. Who's everyone's on? You're going to have 2 sideline reporters?
Yeah, Farron's first game is tonight.
Connor Happer, everybody.
All right, somebody will be off and they don't even know about it. Wow, it's all right. Congrats
Somebody
to
gets
Gary.
to go to bed early.
All right, well, yeah, there is a chance. Yeah, maybe he'll do it. All right.
What are we
Wow.
giving away today? What's our gift this year? A trip to a Royals game.
bars.
They can't even score.
Oh, that's a great reminder. John, do you want to do
Well,
this
they can't.
awesome read as
Wow.
we're getting ready
Yes.
to go to break?
I do.
All right, perfect. Here we go.
Ready?
Yeah. Get ready to clip this, Peter.
Hi! Come by the zone booth at the bullpen inside Omaha Baseball Village and register to win a 1620 The Zone prize pack of KC Royals porch tickets. You're sitting on a porch. Hey, Steve, you ever watch a baseball game from a porch before? And ice cream for a year from Ted and Wiley's. Ted and Wiley's spelled backwards is Slawenditer at 13th and McFahey.
Yeah, we'll do an extra one just in case, Chris.
Come by the zone booth at the bullpen inside the baseball village. Register to win a 1620 The Zone prize pack of KC Royals. What is, by the way, a porch ticket?
The porch, the blue moon.
You're on a. You're on a porch.
I've
at
not
the
been to the
KC
ballpark
game.
since they redid it. All right, KC Royals porch tickets and ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. That's a great prize. We're at 13th. Are we technically at 13th and Mike Fahey?
Yeah, that's 13th Street. It's over there. It's closed, though, during the Men's College World Series.
It's closed. There, I got your read done.
Thank you, John. Great to see you.
Wow.
Thanks for stopping by.
John
Yes.
Bishop did a read on the
And-
OBV show.
And now,
before I
as a
did.
return, you have to stay for both games.
Nope, I got to spend Father's Day with my dad. Happy Father's
There's
Day.
no Cowboys game to watch
Yeah,
today.
thankful.
You guys going to watch the U.S. Open?
Yes.
We'll see.
And they're racing in Mexico today for NASCAR.
I know, that's awesome.
yeah, I won't be watching that.
Oh,
Great track.
wow.
Yeah, sorry. My dad
So
did not
much for
pass down the
diversity
love
for
of
you.
NASCAR.
Don't want to watch a race from Mexico.
No, Daniel Suarez won the Xfinity Series yesterday.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I
it
saw
was
that.
a great
Wow.
race.
All right, we have Happer coming up in a little bit. We also have a guest coming up next from Rawlings because we're talking about Rawlings.
Rawlings.
We love Rawlings.
They
I
are
love my
awesome.
new hat from Rawlings. John, thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome. Well,
Thanks, John.
we only did because we got free stuff.
Gloves? We only did because we got free stuff. All
These are
right.
nice looking gloves.
That's John Bishop. We'll talk to Happer soon. We'll talk Rawlings next with Stephen Martinez, Josh
So long, everybody.
Peterson, and Matt McMaster
Cubs win.
here
Cubs
on
win.
1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Strain Brewing, Nebraska Fresh and always evolving. Another edition of the in-person special edition Zone Hotline, powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. Steven Martinez from Rawlings joining us here inside of the Omaha Baseball Village. Steven, happy Sunday. How are you today?
How's it going, guys? Really appreciate you guys having me up here. Just want to say happy Father's Day to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if you guys have kids or anything like that, but
I have a dog.
You're actually talking to the two people on the station who don't
the only
have
ones.
kids.
Yep.
well,
So-
pet dads are still the same thing.
There we go. Steven, man, it is so fun to talk to you about Rawlings. We had a chance to stop by your booth yesterday.
Yes.
Very, very cool. It's so interesting. I'm 36. I'll be 37 this year. And so we were talking a little off air on just how different stuff looks now versus when I was a kid playing baseball. And I got to admit, I'm very jealous of what the youth has today in terms of the overall look of things.
Yeah, so we were just saying, everything nowadays is the bright colors, the blues, the pinks, the mints. So if you go in our booth today, you won't see many caramel gloves, many tan gloves. It's just not in now. I mean, what we have here on the desk is we got a smiley face glove, I've got an ice cream cone, and then we have a beach ball. So that's what's in now. I mean, we've been selling through them pretty quickly. So times change.
They really do.
Well, if you're in the Omaha Baseball Village, I think you could say pound for pound, your tent is like the most popular tent. Like, there are a lot of people coming through buying this gear. So I got to ask you, is baseball cool now?
Baseball is back.
Okay.
It is back. And it's so funny just being here. This is my 5th year in Omaha, and we started off with a couple tents, pop-up tents.
Sure.
If you go in there now, it looks like a concert venue.
It's incredible.
It's incredible. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
All day long. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many people we've had in there. I mean, it's a zoo in there. But it's what we want, right? That's why we come here. We come to cater to people. We make it as bright as we can.
Yeah.
You know, we want people to come in, say hi, and see what we got going on.
Why do you think – I just feel like there's this boom in youth baseball. Like, you just see more and more people are talking about travel baseball and playing, and you got these kids walking around in uniforms, and they got the chains and the bright colors. What do you think – what would you attribute just the increase in popularity of more and more kids getting into baseball and taking it seriously?
Well, there's a few things. I mean, the one thing I'm a little bit older. I'm 30, so we didn't have all the social media and the influencers back in the day, but it is insane that these guys now have made a living because they're just running travel baseball teams.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to me. I mean, I love the game of baseball, right?
Yeah.
But I love going to a tournament now because there's team takeovers, there's there's all types of stuff where you go out there, they have the craziest jerseys.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's a neon baseball league. Have you seen that?
No.
What is that?
It's called Cosmic Baseball. So it's glow-in-the-dark baseball. So for me, I mean, we didn't have that stuff when we were growing up. And nowadays, I mean, I can't wait to go see a game.
Yeah.
It's just insane. The social media following, I think it's coming back. And then obviously being in Omaha, I mean, the buzz around here is just insane.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Steven Martinez hanging out with us from Rawlings. Where are you based out of, Steven? Because this is such a cool and interesting career to me, just given like what you're involved in. And so I wonder how you got into it and where you're at.
So I'm actually from Cocoa Beach, Florida. I'm based out of there, but my immediate job is I'm on our brand engagement team.
Okay.
So essentially we service all of our D1 programs from baseball and softball on the East Coast. So going up there and seeing their games, doing demo days, supplying them a product, and then doing activations like this. Omaha, Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series, Little League baseball for men and women. So we travel on a lot. So how I got into this, a buddy of mine I played with in college called me one day. I have such a good story about this. I was sitting on the beach by myself, and he texted me, and he was like, "Hey, are you still like cool with your job you're doing?" I was like, "Yeah, right out of college, we play ball together." And I was like, "Yeah, he's like, I got an Easton guy that would love a part-time guy in the summer." That was 6 years ago. And now I'm here. Yes. So I started part-time. They gave me a shot, being a sales rep, and now I'm on the brand engagement team. And
very cool.
I don't want to be anywhere else. So very excited.
Well, man, you are an energizer, buddy. Like, you are in the right business. I remember you walked through here. You had the cup of coffee saying hi to us. I was still waking up from bed. I was like, all right, when this guy comes on, we got to match that energy. But this bat, I was holding this bat that you brought us here. What is this bat exactly here? I'm going to hold it up so everybody can see it on camera. This thing is a toothpick.
It's insane.
Okay? But I feel like I could hit bombs with it.
You can hit absolute nukes with this. So what we're doing here this week is this is the Easton Pool Party.
Okay.
So Easton High Fire Pool Party.
Sure,
It's going to be our limited edition only here in Omaha.
Wow.
Only here in Omaha. It's something where we want to be new and exciting, right?
Yeah.
All the kids love the color. We kind of went with the lifeguard pool deck theme.
Yeah.
So a couple days ago, I don't know if y'all saw me, but I had a lifeguard. I had a lifeguard thing on. I was sitting in our big chair up there.
Sure.
I had a whistle. We did adult swim. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's just so cool that I get to come up here and do this. You know, I mean, we work for such a big company and such a knowledgeable company that, you know, I can come out here and have fun and still be professional, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, look at this thing, by the way. Look at this beach ball.
Yeah, I love
here.
that
Look
look
how
on it.
sick this is. Like, this is incredible.
Steven Martinez from Rawlings hanging out with us. The technology on these bats, it seems, I mean, every year, I've been doing shows now at the OBV for about a decade, and every year it seems like we're making even more and more improvements. I mean, what does the future of this look like in your opinion?
I mean, nowadays, hotter is better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hotter is better. So every single consumer, especially from when I started to where we are now, they want the hottest bat out of the wrapper.
Yeah.
So we definitely deliver there. I mean, every
God.
single bat on our Easton line and our Rawlins line is absolutely insane. I wish when we were playing that was the case.
Yep.
Back when we were playing, you had to bang the bat up about 500 times to get it into the sweet spot.
Sure.
But nowadays, you can buy a bat, you take it out of the wrapper, and it's ready to go.
There's no seasoning anymore.
No.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, I looked at you before we went on the air. I go, is this a drop 9? Is this a drop 10? What does this go? This is a drop 5. This is absolutely insane.
Isn't that crazy?
It's great. It's like holding a toothpick.
Literally.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If I went to your tent and I bought my child this bat, I'd be like, if you don't hit homers with this thing, then what are you going to hit homers with?
And we have heard that all weekend.
I'm sure.
If I buy this, what are you going to do? I'm going to hit a home run. I promise that.
Better do it. You better do it.
Steven Martinez from Rawlings, we really appreciate you stopping by. The tent is awesome. As Matt said a few minutes ago, it is like a party inside of there. So thank you so much for coming by.
Well, thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Man,
that is Steven Martinez.
Pleasure.
This hour presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers and come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. We will return, wrap up the second hour. We're on for about one more hour ahead of an elimination game here at the Men's College World Series between Louisville and Arizona. Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Josh Peterson and Mat McMaster as we were finishing up hour number 2, and this hour has been presented by Nebraska Medicine Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers. Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer. And please do stop by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. Ted and Wally's official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson and the Old Market, Omaha. We have been promising Connor Happer, and he's not here.
Whoa!
He said, no, I don't want to talk with you because you keep talking football. He didn't say that, but that's my guess.
We got Harry Carey instead.
We got Harry Carey. That was excellent.
I will take that.
That was excellent. What a fun hour it has been. We've had John on the mic. We've had a couple of great guests on the mic. I learned various terms. I don't know what drop 5 means, but I'm just nodding my head in agreement.
I'll explain it. Can I explain it real quick?
Sure.
It's kind of cool. So this is a 31-inch bat. Okay. And it's 26 ounces. So you take the inches and you subtract by the ounces, and that is the difference. So it's a drop.
So do you want a bigger number or a
so
smaller number?
When you have like a drop 8, a drop 9, right? That's like it's a light bat. It's a fast bat. Now you do have to measure out, like, you don't want too light of a bat because it
needs to make contact.
It needs to have enough pop, right? Now, when I played in high school, you could only use drop 3s. Like, that was the standard. So if you had a 31-inch bat, 28 ounces, 32, you do the math.
It couldn't be bigger than 3.
It couldn't be, so you couldn't have a drop 4.
Okay.
So if you had a 31-inch bat, it could not be 27 ounces.
Okay.
It had to be 28 ounces. This being a drop 5, so when you get to, like, drop 5, drop 4, drop 3, they get heavier. Like, they're like, all right, you could tell that there's a little, like, it's kind of hard to swing it. This thing, like I said, is a toothpick. It is ridiculous how light this thing is. And it's got a lot of pop in it.
Yeah, it certainly does.
There you go. Youth baseball for America.
We're learning a lot together. Coming up as we get ready to take you all the way up to pregame coverage of the first elimination game of the 2025 Men's College World Series, Louisville versus Arizona. We'll talk a little bit about that one. We also have to get to a Mick complaint.
Yes.
We'll do that in our final hour of the show. But we were talking about Nebraska football as we were rudely interrupted by some baseball boys.
Ridiculous.
Let's get back to football, but not just from the Nebraska perspective, because I think, again, we've done a really good job of talking about college football from the broader perspective.
We are national people.
We are, yes.
We are national football reporters.
Sam McEwen put together a list of the of every non-conference Big Ten football game that will be played in 2025, and he ranked them. And, Matt, it is a reminder, and I honestly get a little bit worried as the sport moves in the direction that it is with some of these discussions about expanded playoffs and what that could mean for the non-conference. Obviously, Nebraska canceling the Tennessee series, like, that's not the first, and it will not be the last of series like that to get canceled. But good God, this year's matchups are not that good, and we're still in, like, this era where you would expect them to be good. So on my laptop, if I go to the first game, I can see a list of 7 games, 7 of the 54 non-conference games. Matt, I would say that 7, like, I like the Apple Cup, but that is basically the beginning of, like, we're getting out of fun games into bad games, and that's just the first 7, and there are still another 47 games to go.
The one that did me in was Illinois at Duke.
Yes. That's an early game. It's a top 10 game.
It's a top 10 non-con game of the Big Ten Conference. No offense to Duke football.
Correct.
But
not what we want to talk about.
No. I mean, and then you get down to, like, okay, you literally just do one little scroll.
Oh,
right?
dude, yeah.
And now I'm at Maryland versus Florida Atlantic.
What about Rutgers, Ohio? Like, I mean, dude, it does not take that long.
I'm pretty sure list. Ohio versus Ohio State is pretty high up there.
You're not wrong. And Sam's like kind of not reasoning, but it was like, isn't it cool that Ohio State will play Ohio?
Isn't it cool?
Like, and
if the moon were made of spare ribs, would you eat it?
Man, we got what's his name on the brain now because of John.
I love that. Is my favorite SNL bit is the Harry Carey, and like, I don't know if you saw me, but I was dying. When John
he's very good. His Harry Carey is very good.
Well, the problem is that I feel like an idiot now doing my Harry Carey because it's not even.
Hey, yeah, you're
you're
from Chicago. It's not very good.
It's terrible. Yeah. It's awful. The only impression I can do is John Gruden.
John Gruden. How's that sound?
Let me tell you what, man.
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
Where did Josh Jacobs go to school? Josh Peterson.
That's pretty good.
He went to Alabama, man.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That?
I don't know how John Gruden would feel about the Big Ten non-conference schedule, but I can tell you this.
It's terrible, man.
The top is good, right? I mean, you got a blue blood matchup in Ohio State and Texas. Banger right off the bat. Michigan, Oklahoma, interesting spots for both of these programs right now, but at the very least, I'm going to be watching.
It's a helmet game.
It's very much a helmet game, and it's a primetime game, which I love. Wisconsin, Bama, no offense, Sam, I don't think it's 3 because it's going to be a bad football game.
I'm more excited to watch, and this has nothing to do with me being from the area, but I'm more excited
what are you
to watch.
Say? What Northwestern game are you excited for?
Tulane.
Okay, settle down.
What do you mean settle down? That'll be a competitive game.
Hey, let's chill.
That'll be a competitive game.
That will be a competitive game.
Yes, it will.
That's not the mark of, great non-conference, though. Happy Father's Day to my father-in-law.
Happy
Mike,
Father's Day.
Let's go. Happy Father's Day. Mother-in-law there, Marcella.
I'm just saying, but this is the point that Alabama is absolutely just gonna be a bludgeoning.
Yeah.
What did Luke Fickell say last year? Is like, if you guys have never had your asses kicked before, you just did. Mm-hmm. He said that to his team.
Well, he can say that again on September 13th. He'll say that again.
The 1-year anniversary.
Some of the other notable games, USC at Notre Dame. Again, interesting spot, mainly for the Trojans, just given where the hell are they going with Lincoln Riley right now.
It's funny. We've talked about teams that are on the hot seat, or coaches that are on the hot seat, but I feel like they're doing a really good job at recruiting. And Lincoln Riley is one of those guys who's doing a really good job at recruiting, but yet we're kind of what are they doing?
It's nuts how fast I've lost faith in him. He was, the offensive mind in college football. And now I'm just nope, I don't trust you at all anymore.
I do want to say this. I do think it's to their advantage that USC's, the position you have the biggest question mark is their quarterback. Because the rest of their team right now is actually pretty well built and very talented.
So, okay, let me turn that around on you just for a moment, though. He has been built off of great quarterback play. So if that's the biggest question, I understand your point, but it's almost man, if Lincoln Riley can't figure out quarterback.
But when you have Caleb Williams and Kyler Murray and all those guys, how much do you need to elevate them? These guys are just studs, right? The best thing that Lincoln Riley does is develop quarterbacks, so he's going to be more effective because he actually has to do a good job to get his guy to where he needs to be in order for them to win. I think I think he keeps his job. I think he keeps his job at the end of the season.
You think he gets to what? Would that be year 5?
Yes.
Year 5?
I don't think, though. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that USC is going to be some national contender in 3 years.
Definitely not.
They're going to be on the top of the mountain.
They were one game away from making the playoff with his first team, but they lost to Utah.
Yeah.
In the Pac-12 championship. But they were they win that. They played Georgia in round 1 of the playoff, and Ohio State doesn't even make it.
In the big, in those big Pac-12 games in the Lincoln Riley era, they have just lost. They just lose.
Well, I mean, now it's not even the big games; it's the other games too. Remember when they lost to Minnesota last year?
But okay, I do want to give them a little grace though, because you do have to build your roster for a conference, and his roster was not built for the conference that he was in.
100%.
So I will give, just like I'm giving Luke Fickell a little leeway here because his schedule is really tough, and he's not the one who made his schedule, right? I'll give Lincoln a 1-year grace period, but a third. 6-6 this year. Sayonara, sucker.
Yeah, seriously. My brother Luke is on your side. Tulane is an upper mid-major, so that's a fair point to say.
It is. No, it'll be it'll be more competitive than Alabama, Wisconsin. But half these games are going to be more competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio versus Ohio State might be more competitive. I'm kidding.
But maybe. El Assico, a little too low in my opinion. Iowa and Iowa State on September the 6th.
See, that is one that I would have above Alabama, Wisconsin.
I would have that game. I think I'd have that game third. I mean, as Sam writes, the Cyclones could be ranked in the top 10 at kickoff. And how about this? ISU hasn't beaten the Hawkeyes in Ames since 2011.
That is a crazy stat. I didn't know that. By the way, I don't think Sam's giving Cincinnati versus Nebraska enough credit.
You think that's a little too low? You got to scroll a little bit.
It is under UCLA at UNLV.
Yeah, he has it behind Minnesota and Cal, which, by the way, I personally would bump Minnesota and Cal up a little bit, but that's because I love late kickoffs. Even though I am not able to stay up as late as I used to, I still love late kickoffs.
I will watch that game just because I love Darius Taylor.
Yeah?
I think Darius Taylor.
We talked about him yesterday.
Dog.
Yeah. I saw him in person a couple times last year, man. He's a lot of fun. I'm with you. that Nebraska Cincinnati game, like, we got 2 months and 13 days to talk about this. But dude, I am endlessly interested.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to be there, to soak in that atmosphere.
Have you done the opponent previews yet for Nebraska football?
So,
have you gone through? Admittingly, I have not.
No.
Not.
I've done Husker Online has done a pretty good job
Yes.
of hey, let's check in on these rosters. I've read those, but I haven't done the total. It's time to do the deep dive on Cincinnati. It's time to do the deep dive on Michigan. I have a general sense of the opponents, but I'll get
hardcore.
I'll do that a little later.
Last year, I had a nice doc in the preseason where I kind of just wrote all the notes of all the teams that they were going to play.
Okay,
and that was just kind of like a preseason type deal. I haven't done that yet.
I haven't even memorized the schedule 1 through 12 yet. I'll get there. But
I'm there. I'm almost there. I know who the home opponents are and the away opponents are, and I have a relatively good idea of if it's early in the season or late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I haven't fully delved in deep. All this to say, the Cincinnati game is going to be competitive. There is no doubt in my mind that game is going to be a 4-point game.
Yeah. So interesting, because Sam writes as we get ready to wrap up the hour, Huskers should take this game by 2 touchdowns.
No.
Especially given a massively partisan crowd at Arrowhead Stadium.
It's week 1 with a new offensive coordinator, with new wide receivers, with a
new defensive coordinator,
new
special teams,
with a totally overhauled defensive line.
I was going to say new defensive line,
which was the catalyst.
A lot of questions at running back outside of Emmett Johnson.
I mean, when Quinton Ives gets his first carry, I'm going to be like, all right, here we go, kid. When he gets his first series of all right, Emmett had 8 carries or Emmett had X amount of carries. This is Quinton's series. That's going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be especially because they didn't get Marty Brown in the transfer portal. And so it's all right, this is Quinton's time now, finally, after he's been here for 3 years, which, by the way, I like Quinton Ives a good amount. Okay?
Do you?
New Jersey is an incredible high school football state.
Yeah.
And he was just absolutely dominant in that state.
It's just been so long.
So that's
if you're a running back, you should show it now, now, right?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's where I've watched the tape and man, he's shifty and man, he's fast and he can go. But it's just why have we had to wait so long? And by the way, I know people have been well, they've had older guys on the depth chart and he's trying to work his way up. It's not like Nebraska's had a Melvin Gordon.
Correct. Good running backs show themselves early.
Yes.
Every single time. Reminder, Country Fest back at OBV this Friday. OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johns and Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. And 1620 The Zone is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Strain Brewing, Nebraska Fresh and always evolving. There's a new scent.
There's an aura in the air.
There's a new scent by us, and that scent is Runza.
There's a magic at the sound of their name. Here come the Runza products.
I am very excited for the noon hour, and that's mainly because it is going to begin with Runza going into my belly.
Ranch dressing, baby.
That was great yesterday.
Well, I have a ranch dressing ranking on my phone.
Okay. I did not know this. This is a topic that you and I are going to have. I love ranch.
Okay.
So we will do that as we roll on. 40 minutes to go ahead of the first elimination game of the 2025 Men's College World Series. Louisville and Arizona. Pregame at 12:40. First pitch just after 1 o'clock. But we still have 40 minutes left right here on 1620 The Zone. Hour number 3 here at the Omaha Baseball Village. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster with you. We will be on for another 40 minutes ahead of Louisville and Arizona. And then Matt and I will be back in between that game and Oregon State, Coastal Carolina tonight. In the first one, the losing team will go home. In the second one, the winning team is going to be feeling really, really good as they move on into the winner's bracket. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on this hour. But right now, Oliver Jurasic from Runza has stopped by. Did I get the last name correct?
Sir. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. We love to hear it. Oliver has been so kind to bring us some delicious grub. And Oliver, we were just talking about your story. Incredible. I mean, it's a family business. You've been, as you said, you said since I was this tall, and you were pretty much
he was at his knee, and he was sitting down.
And he was sitting down. So great to have you here.
No, thank you for having us. We're very excited to be a part of the Omaha Baseball Village tradition and excited to bring Runza to it.
Yeah, so let's talk about you for just a moment. We'll talk about Runza, but tell us about yourself and how you got into working with Runza.
Yeah, so my dad, when he got out of the Army, came back to Runza back in the early 90s and has been with Runza ever since. He owns a franchise over there on 204th and Maple and Elkhorn. And I worked at worked at Runza throughout high school, and left for 6 years in the Navy. When I got done, I came straight back because I knew it was a great company and wanted to be part of it. And now I'm taking over as the mobile catering and concessions manager. And yeah, we're happy to be down here.
Awesome.
Your parents met at a Runza.
Yep, parents met at a Runza. My dad hired my mom actually, and she made him cookies all the time. So that's why that relationship kindled. So yeah, no, it's been great.
And then you said you had Runzas at your wedding. So I have to ask, you are the closest I think I will ever get to a Runza expert. What is the perfect order? All right?
Perfect order.
Oliver walks up. What is your perfect Runza order?
I think my perfect Runza order is honestly the OG, an original Runza, a side of frings.
Okay.
I need a side of French onion dip and a side of our homemade ranch, and then a Dr. Pepper. You can't get much better than that.
My gosh. Speaking of the homemade ranch, so like there are conversations, right, that people have with anyone in Nebraska about Runza, and very quickly my conversations always turn into, man, that ranch is absolutely incredible. How often do people ask you about it, first of all? And second of all, why is it so good?
Well, I think to answer your first question, we get questions about it every day. How do I make this at home? How big of a container? I've gotten asked if we sell it in pint-sized containers. And then as for why it's so good, we make it fresh in our stores every morning, using fresh ingredients, our own blend of seasonings. It's quite a great product to bring into our stores.
Oh, yeah.
So I was talking to you off air. Like, everyone's talking about the Runza. Everybody's talking about that's your signature product. But, man, your fries are great. Your onion rings are great. Your chicken tenders are really good.
Absolutely.
That mushroom Swiss burger, chef's kiss. Okay, it is absolutely incredible.
Absolutely.
Was that always the case? Or has that kind of been throughout the couple of years you've seen the elevation of the other products besides just the name product?
No, absolutely. We've been around as of last year, 75 years. And, we've learned a lot throughout those years. I definitely think that we're definitely a step above, and it's taken a long time for us to get there.
Sure.
I would say since I was a kid, I just always knew the best burger in town. I'm going to Runza. I'm getting myself a barbecue bacon Swiss burger.
Nice.
And, I'm just enjoying my life and knowing that my family is a part of such a great company. So, yeah.
Oliver Jurasic from Runza joining us. And one of the things that I think is awesome about the Runza location you have down here at the Omaha Baseball Village, you walk over to the menu and you go to other spots and sometimes you're like, oh, they don't have X, Y, or Z. I'm not going to say it's the full menu, but you have a lot of the staple items that I like. When I went over, I was like, please tell me there are fries. Please tell me there are fries. There are fries there and then some.
Yeah, absolutely. When we were deciding what we were going to bring down here, we thought, maybe let's keep it easy. Let's bring down the Runza and hope for the best. But we know some people, cabbage isn't their thing. And we know we wanted to make sure we would hit that broad audience. So we wanted to make as full of a menu as possible. And I definitely think that's helped us out a lot.
So it was a big deal when we found out that Runza was going to be here in the Omaha Baseball Village. I'm not fully aware of the history. Is this your first time in OBV?
Yep, okay. We did some stuff with the Rosenblatt, from my understanding, way back in the day, back when we were back there. But this is the first time we've been in the OBV, and we're hoping to make this a long-term gig. So please come by and see us.
What was that process like? Like getting the truck finally here and bringing what people, relate with? I'm telling you right now, when people come to Nebraska, right, if they're new here, I'm sure that there are Wildcat fans and their Chanticleer fans who were told, hey, you got to have
and
a
now
run
it's a
zone.
whole lot easier
Now it's a whole lot easier. What was that process getting it here to the Staple?
I mean, it definitely was a pain to get it down here. Not because we didn't want to be here, but just the process. I mean, we have a 28-foot trailer that we have a fryer, an oven, a grill, just everything that we need to be able to serve the community to the full extent as we can. And there's things that you don't think about when you're at home. Oh, where's my gas coming from? Where's my sewage going at the end of the day? And so it's been a process, but we're so happy that we got an opportunity to get behind the scenes.
So Oliver, I always ask the folks that we talk to how they describe where they're at. So somebody's listening right now and they're saying, first of all, didn't know the Runs is down there. Now, awesome. I'm going to stop by. Where do they need to go inside of the OBV?
Yeah, absolutely. We're more so on the west side of the OBV near the Jumbotron and on the stage, I guess, where they have here in OBV. We're right behind one of the big beer garden tents, right next to Greek to Me and the Oakley tent.
Awesome. Oliver Jurasik. Oliver, thank you so much for the great conversation, and thank you so much for the great food.
Absolutely. We're happy to be here. And
you are the man. That's what you are, the man.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Oliver.
Thank you.
That is Oliver Jurasik from Runza. We will come back and continue our countdown to the games today. Another doubleheader, Louisville and Arizona. First and foremost, John Bishop, Gary Sharp on the call. Connor Happer down on the field. And then tonight, Mike Farron moves into the booth for Oregon State and Coastal Carolina. We are on for another half hour. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster. We got Josh Hodson here and Peter Krenzer back in our studio. So much more to come here on 1620 The Zone. Josh Peterson, Mat McMaster with you from the zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village, and stop by for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. People have been stopping by
Go
lot
Mariners,
today.
Baby. Go Mariners. That's a nice jersey right there, young
real
man.
quick on those granola bars. If my child told you that those were $3 a piece, they are not. You can just have one.
Hey, your
or
son's
two.
just hustling.
Yeah.
Your son's just hustling.
I respect it, but also, hey, man, don't mess up my job to make yourself better.
By the way, shout out to listener.
Was he doing that?
Shout out.
That's
he was doing that, and he was kicking my chair. That's
what a hustler. I love your son. Your son's great.
By the way, we want to give a huge shout out to a great friend of 1620 The Zone. That is listener Mike. You've seen him in the YouTube chat many a time. He dropped by and gave us martyr batons. We all now have martyr batons for what we have been doing the last few days. Thank you to Mike. You can find it on the JTech Construction. Oh, I guess we're not calling it that right now, but the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. That's my first mistake of the whole College World Series. You can find it there, though, and so very much recommend it. Well played by him. And also, I'm going to put this in the fridge and then take it home later, and I think my wife is going to be really excited.
I don't eat cucumbers.
Oh, sweet. So I'll take that. You can make tzatziki.
Hey, post her a picture.
You can make tzatziki sauce with this. So you can do that. You know, Greek food.
I've never
made.
Have you ever made your own tzatziki sauce?
No, I don't cook. She does, and she's an amazing cook.
I don't. I just buy it.
You just buy it, dude. You should.
Have you ever made your own ranch?
Yes.
Is it like?
It's not as good as this, but it's good.
But it's like, would you say it's better than what you could buy at the grocery store?
Yes. And so, okay, let's talk ranch for just a couple of moments.
No,
because you're a man after my own heart. If you actually have a ranking on your phone,
you think I'd lie to you about?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think that you would. I like meeting people that are similar to me.
So you're a narcissist?
Maybe. I love ranch. This is incredible. I love ranch. It is so important. You know, there's some people I've said, I don't like having wings at blank because the ranch isn't very good.
Sure.
And they say, that's stupid. Why does the ranch matter? I view ranch as a part of the wing.
It is.
It's like the buffalo. You wouldn't eat a buffalo wing spot if you didn't like the sauce.
No.
Ranch is essentially the same thing for me because every single bite is going to have some ranch on it. And so when I think of the wing joints in town that I like, ranch is going to be very important on my ranking.
So I have not really dove deep into the Omaha ranch scene, but my ranch ranking. So I have terrible ones, mid ones, good ones, and my top 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My number one. Could you guess what my number one ranch is? It's not Runza. Runza's 4.
Well, I did see. Was it Wingstop?
It was Wingstop.
I haven't had Wingstop in years, so I don't even know how their ranch is.
Dude, dipping those fries in Wingstop ranch is absolutely incredible. And then we have some like local flavor back in Lincoln and whatnot. But I'll tell you what. One ranch that not a lot of people give a lot of credit to that maybe they don't even know.
Okay,
they have
now
I'm
curious.
Red Robin.
Oh, Red Robin does have good ranch.
Red Robin has awesome ranch. Okay, I feel like every time I tell people that I love the Red Robin ranch, they're like, "Really? Like I didn't even know you can get ranch." When you get the onion ring tower, and they got the ranch right
Unlimited
there.
fries. They have good buffalo sauce too.
They have a lot of good things at Red Robin. Underutilized, casual fast food.
I would say this:
chain.
the spots in Omaha that are known for wings. One of our great sponsors over the years, Oscars. Another great sponsor over the years, Tanner's, Caddyshack, all have really good ranch.
Okay,
which is so important for me as a wing guy. I love wings.
I have to go to Oscars because I've heard so many good things about Oscars, and I know they've been.
We usually do a roundtable out there ahead of the football season.
I would love to do that. I need to try. I need to get the Omaha establishments on my ranch rankings. Okay, that's something we need to do. But I have hit in the downtown Lincoln area. I have hit almost every spot that you can get ranch in, and like we are set there.
By the way, my wife texted me when we came back from this break. She says, "You look like you just finished eating, leaving that break." Well, I did.
We did.
We were stuffing our faces.
We were starving. I'm going to be honest with you. Before John Bishop and Gary Sharp and Connor Happer and the entire crew came down here,
you were hungry.
I feel like we both were kind of like, you could look in our eyes and be like, those men need food.
They need food, and we got food.
And then Oliver came here with the Runza, which, by the way, we have during that break, we were crushing.
We were housing.
Yes.
Like,
we have rings, we have fries, we have runses, we have burgers, we had chicken tenders. The chicken tenders are all gone.
To talk about the atmosphere, by the way, it picked up massively. There were so many people.
Last 15 minutes, there's been an influx of people.
And
I think people are jealous of us.
It was a little embarrassing, like stuffing my face with food. And everybody was walking by, looking like, look at
They're asking us for various things, and we're throwing fries in our face.
I was like, I had fries in my mouth. It goes, granola bars.
Grab them.
Yeah.
Your wife,
my wife,
comments in on the stream.
Oh, God. What'd she say this time?
You guys need a not safe for work tag on this video stream.
Whoa, really?
Well, we were pointing at
because of the cucumbers.
A lot of people think the martyr baton is something else.
What?
It's really.
It's
honey,
just a martyr
I need
baton.
you to get your head out of the gutter. I mean, this is just a cucumber. Remember, she asked for me to pick one of these up when we recently had Euros.
We need a graphic quote.
Honey, this is just a cucumber. I can make one of those graphics. No, I just hate the picture that we have for me. I need a new picture.
Oh, do we need an update on the Connor Happer show?
Yes.
There's new poll questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get to some of those.
Are we doing the odd news?
We've done a terrible job. We'll get to the odd news again tomorrow for sure. Yeah, because these have been Saturday shows, so let's just pretend.
I have some updates
on poll questions.
Poll questions.
All right, what do we got?
Is Cars better than Oppenheimer?
No.
60% say yes.
Oh my gosh! What did your son just vote over and over and over? What else is he doing today?
How many Connor Happer show bits does Matt McMedia's dad know? 52% say 0.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Will Matt McMedia call producer Josh daddy today?
He hasn't.
67% say yes. They'll say I'll break.
We're at 12:20, so you don't have too much time left. Was that it,
Daddy?
Whoa!
He did it.
He did it.
They were wrong.
Happy Father's Day to Josh Hodson and all of the dads, to all the dads and daddies out there in our audience. We wish you a happy Father's Day. And you know what? Shout out to the people that wish me a happy Father's Day for having a dog. I love when people say happy dad or dog Father's Day. I love that.
You're not going to get that.
I'm not going to get that from you. You know who I'm definitely not going to get that from? Connor Happer.
Oh.
He would never wish me a happy Father's Day.
So does he actually hate dogs, or is he just leaning into this bit at this point?
We can't prove that he loves them.
Because there is a difference between actually hating dogs and leaning into people thinking you actually hate dogs. Because, sometimes you got to lean into things in order for them to really, make it count, to make the bit or the joke count. Yeah. But I've heard him talk about dogs, and I am getting to the point where I actually do think he doesn't like dogs, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I understand not owning a dog. Dogs are tough. They're hard. There are moments where it's like, man, that's pretty hard to take care of, and you have to make a schedule around them.
The thing that I've been most frustrated by with Banks lately.
Yeah,
it's not that. I mean, he's great in terms of scheduling. He never pees in the house or anything like that. It's that there has been a freaking, what are they called? A possum in our backyard. And so let him out. Last time he goes out every night, it's about 10:30 or so. And then we take his collar off, right? So that's the last time that he goes outside. And often this trip outside takes the longest. No matter what. He loves being outside the last time the longest because I think he knows this is it until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But lately, there's been a possum in our yard. Oh. And so I'll walk outside and he'll have this possum in his mouth.
Oh, my God.
But the possum is playing dead.
Oh, that's
so Banks is just holding it. It's like,
I got
Banks, stop it. This is not making me happy. Yeah, he's like, look, Dad, you get a prize. You get a prize. No, I don't want a prize.
There you go.
Yeah, my prize, Banks, would be you not doing that.
I can shed some light on whether or not Connor does or does not like dogs.
Excellent.
He likes your dog. He does not want a dog for himself.
There you go.
Also,
nothing wrong with that.
He does not want your dog to touch him or lick him, but he likes that the dog is around. He likes that you have a dog and you're happy.
And he doesn't want you to kiss your dog on the mouth with tongue.
That is
don't French kiss your dog.
What if I give Banks a kiss though? Like, I love you, Banks.
I don't think if someone came up to me and said I kiss my dog with tongue, I would not think they were normal.
What about regular kiss, like a kiss his head?
Yeah, that's
kiss
cool.
on the top of his head.
All right.
Okay, good.
I
rub his ears and then I give him a little kiss on his head.
Okay, with your dog.
For the record, I'm not.
Stop making that noise. Stop. That is a disgusting sound.
It's a normal sound.
It's a stupid sound.
It's a normal sound. Poll question: is that a disgusting sound? It's normal to me. By the way, Bruce, Chef Bruce, reaches out yet again.
Did he say, am I back on the Chef Bruce hot list in terms of knowing food?
No. He has not commented on you. This is about ranch dressing.
Oh, what did he say?
Hidden Valley that comes in a bottle has way too many preservatives.
Bruce
is why it has the consistency that it does.
Guys, cut it out with the saturated fats and the unsaturated
That's
fats.
Why, why is this ranch good? Look at how watery it is.
I'm going to have ranch. I ain't trying to be healthy.
No. He's not saying that. He's saying consistency. It's too thick and goopy.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, I like it to be nice and watery.
I like a watery ranch.
You don't want a goopy ranch.
No, nothing. Oh, that's a great way.
Where you have to squeeze it and go.
Yeah. That's you in the sound effects. Stop.
You don't like.
No.
Wow, I thought that was pretty good.
Do you know that my radio partner does an incredible Donald Duck? And he will just break it. Yeah.
I used to be able to talk like it, but then I lost it over the years.
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm not as good as that. I used to be.
Pretty good.
When I was like 11, you would have been blown away by it.
My John Gruden back in the day was way better than what it was now.
Dude, that John Gruden you did earlier was pretty good.
Let me tell you what. Hey.
You got the face, too.
Where did Danny Woodhead go to college, young man?
Wow, that's good.
You went to Shadround State. Man.
Okay, you need to do this as a bit this football season.
Are you yanking my chain?
No, I'm serious. That's a good bit.
Let me tell you something, man.
John Gruden comments on Nebraska football. It's a record. Here's what I would do. Free advice. Record it every week. It's like a 3-minute thing, and then you play it on the show, and then you kind of go off to the races. That's what I would do. I wouldn't do it live because it'd be better if you can do it recorded.
When I think of a gunslinger, man, I think of Dylan Raiola, man. You know, that guy's got a cannon, man. Dylan Raiola woke up out of the womb throwing footballs, man. Knock on wood if you're with me.
That's pretty good.
And my Josh knows this. My John Gruden is not a John Gruden. That Josh. Yeah. His name is Odson. My John Gruden is not a John Gruden. My John Gruden is Frank Caliendo doing John Gruden.
You're still pretty good.
Because I watch Frank Caliendo do it, and I love Frank Caliendo. Which
friend of the Connor Happer
show. Let me tell you something. Right? Like, they've joked about it. I would get a little nervous meeting Frank Caliendo because I have watched so many of his videos.
One of the most impressive things about Happer is his lack of fear on talking to big guests. He had Bomani Jones on before a Super Bowl a couple years ago, and I was thinking, if Nick, who is listening right now, and just
Josh.
He says Goopy Ranch is going on the band name list. If Nick was like, hey, I'm thinking of getting Bomani Jones on, I would say, whoa, I might actually be nervous, and I'm never nervous for guests, but I love Bomani Jones.
I'm going after Matt Leinart this football season.
Wow, that'd be a nice get.
So we're gonna try and get Matt Leinart in, and then I'm gonna try and parlay that into getting Brady Quinn on.
Wow.
So that way I can tell Brady Quinn.
Do you have any contact? Like, how is this happening?
I have connections.
Okay, man. What were you going to say? What are you going to tell Brady Quinn?
That I hate his guts. Well, I've already told Brady Quinn in person because I met Brady Quinn that I hate his guts, but I would like to say it over the air.
Is this a Northwestern thing?
This is back
Aren't
in
you
Chicago.
Catholic?
No.
Oh.
Back in Chicago, it's everyone's a Notre Dame football fan.
Sure. Yeah.
And I went to Catholic school, and everybody was just
So you did go to Catholic school. So you were Catholic.
I am Catholic. Yeah.
I just asked you, and you said no.
No, you said, is it a Catholic thing?
No, are you Catholic?
Oh, I am Catholic.
Yeah.
But, like, they had, at my grade school, when Notre Dame played Alabama, they had a Notre Dame day. You could wear a Notre Dame jersey or a Notre Dame hoodie or a Notre Dame whatever. And I was the only kid who showed up, and I didn't have a thing on. I was like, screw this team.
And so that's why you hate Brady Quinn.
Well, my dad grew up a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
Wanted to go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Got into Northwestern.
Yeah.
Got denied from Notre Dame.
Wow.
Even though Northwestern is harder to get into.
People forget.
And from that moment on, it was, we are not a Notre Dame family.
Wow.
Yeah. But then we like going to their football games, though, because their football games are fun to go to.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Fun to go to.
I don't like what this company stands for, but I'm going to keep shopping there.
Well, they got really good tailgates.
You heard it here first. This special edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. You can text us at 402-951-1620. And a reminder that the 1620 The Zone hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, Josh Hodson, Peter Krenzer. We're going to come back and say bye-bye. Get you ready for some baseball. One segment to go here at the Omaha Baseball Village for now on 1620 The Zone. Josh Peterson and Mat McMaster here at the Omaha Baseball Village, where we implore you to stop by and register to win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. Ted and Wally's, official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson and the Old Market, Omaha. We are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. Last segment of our first show of the day. We'll be on a little bit later. Both of the first 2 days we started at about 4:30 in between the games. Today we will be following that's tomorrow, Louisville and Arizona. Loser going home. The winner lives to see another day. And then tonight's matchup between Oregon State and Coastal Carolina. One team, Matt, is going to be feeling really, really good because they're going to get their pitching in order. They're going to get a day off. They're going to be feeling awesome.
It is the classic, like, if you win the Sunday game or tomorrow if you win the Monday game, your chances of winning the College World Series increase exponentially, which is the thing I love about this tournament so much is that every game is like the biggest game of everybody's life, unless you've been here before and you've won the tournament as well. But it will be, I mean, we talked about white, what do we call it? What do I call it? The white knuckle, sports, right? Where everybody gets really tense as the days progress, as the days go on, as the games, we get farther into game 8, game 9, game 10, that just increases as well. And so we had some wild moments in the last 2 days. Buckle up.
Speaking of buckling up, people are driving to the ballpark right now.
Oh, what a segue. This guy's a pro professional.
Segue. They are. I'm speechless. Traffic.
Josh is going to tell you that a road that's been closed for 3 hours is currently closed.
No, I'm not. That was just the first 2 days. Got to train the audience.
But 13th Street is closed.
It is.
They close it 2 hours before game time.
It is.
It won't open up until the end of the day.
Yep.
Traffic presented by Park Omaha. Make a game plan for your parking. Learn more about parking in advance at parkomaha.com. If you're coming into the ballpark on coming back, you're going to start seeing the taillights right about that new lovely Creighton softball facility.
No. That is far back there.
Well, I mean, we're about 20th.
At least it's not 30th like it was on Friday.
Oh, goodness.
You said that, and I had a panic attack.
Other than that, the normal congestion points. Nothing too serious out there. Traffic presented by Park Omaha. Make a game plan for your parking. Learn more about parking in advance at parkomaha.com. And we do have an injury report presented by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps. And I'm not a doctor, but I am declaring clean bill of health for everybody today.
Josh did his own research. Great work.
I did. I love doing my own research.
It'd be great if you didn't do your own research and you're like, I feel it in the air. This guy's got an ankle sprain.
Something's going on.
I feel it in my heart. The second baseman is bad. His back is bad right now.
I'm feeling elbow discomfort today.
You don't want to feel that for a baseball player. They throw the ball.
Josh goes, I smell it in the air. The shortstop won't play today for personal family reasons.
Personal family reasons like Father's Day. A reminder that the Special Edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. Please do send us father stories that you have. We didn't get a chance to talk too much about our dads on today's show, but what did they pass down to you? You can text us at 402-951-1620. We'll read some of those in between the games, whether it's fandom, whether it's a piece of advice, maybe a fun story about being down here at the Men's College World Series, whatever it is, hit us up there at 402-951-1620. And then don't forget, stop by and get the granola bars.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Yeah?
Like I feel like
not the bats. Not the bats.
Come on,
doing, young man?
I like it. Very casual, though. He's like, what do you mean?
No, hell no, not the bats. This is an expensive bat, I'm pretty sure.
It's an expensive table right now.
It's a very expensive table. Not a big granola guy, but these granola bars are awesome.
You've had several over the weekend.
I've had like 4 today, but that was because I don't.
Because you forgot to eat.
Oh, well, I don't eat breakfast in general.
That is just, dude, you host a morning show.
I don't eat until I go home.
That's a bad take, Matt. You need to start eating.
No, but I look skinny, and everybody's like, Matt, you look so much better.
That's what everybody says to me. Josh, you look too skinny. I eat all the time.
And you're like, eat, Santa, eat. Yeah, that's a movie I have seen. A Year Without a Santa Claus.
1620 is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps. And by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska Fresh and always evolving. It is time to send you upstairs. John Bishop, Gary Sharp, Connor Happer down on the field, on the lookout for foul balls because he made a play the other night. It is Louisville. It is Arizona. One of these teams lives to see another day of baseball. The other, their season will come to an end, and they will get
a barbecue.
They'll get the dreaded 2 and Q delineation. Looking forward to this one, and we will talk about it a little bit more later on. Matt, 10 seconds. Who you got?
Give me Louisville.
Louisville for Matt. I'm going to go there with you as well. Give me Louisville. Go Cats, says Josh Hodson. Speaking of Josh Hodson, excellent on-site production from him. Peter Krenzer, Steve King back in our 1620 The Zone studio. Executive production by Chris Prudon. For my partner, Matt McMaster. For the Martyr Baton, I'm Josh Peterson. Enjoy the baseball. John Bishop, Gary Sharp, and Connor Happer will be back on in a few hours, and we'll get you ready for the nightcap. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Thanks for listening.